having internet trouble or something. My internet's working just fine. Oh well, either way, I gotta get my morning breakfast going, but I thought I'd try again. And guess we'll just see what happens, I guess. I guess that's what we'll do. There we go. Got the earpiece going, and I mean, this is just a morning routine. First, look, if you really want to get healthy, in my opinion, now remember, I don't give any medical advice. I don't make any medical claims, no matter what I say. Don't take it as such. And I will go beyond that and tell you that what I'm doing, I personally have found that this protocol that I created is working extremely well. So that's what I'm going to do. Okay, I always start with the purine powder because our food is deficient. I am trying to make like a multivitamin hydrogen smoothie here to overcome any nutritional deficiencies, give me enough fiber, give me enough minerals, give me all the nutrients I need. Because let's face it, look at the data on multivitamins. It's not the best way to get your nutrients. Now, if you're just someone who doesn't want to put any effort in and you're like, well, I just want to take a multivitamin and that's it. It's better than nothing. But in a lot of ways, there's things that are just, in my opinion, not super good about it. So this is what I've discovered is pretty good stuff like this, and at this rate. And purine powder, you just need it because it's like, again, this is your multi-nutrient. So that's what I use. As always, if you guys want to know where you get that, that's at ishoppurium.com. And if you want a $50 discount, which actually I think is pretty good, you can use the code if you want, uprising144K. And it also helps support the channel, but even better, help support your health in your body. Okay, now I'm putting flax seeds. I like to put them in whole so they'll grind up. One of these days I'm going to have to soak them in water before I actually put them in here. It's one of the few things I don't soak in water. I'm going to put a splash of chlorella, which is not really necessary, but I just happen to have it left over, so I'm going to do it. Because that's what I'm going to do. Okay. But why? Why would you do that, Hydrogen Man? Well, because I don't like to be wasteful and I happen to have it around. Really, but why? Why do you happen to have it around? Well, because I bought it in the past and the purine powder is good enough. I don't need it anymore. Why don't you need it anymore? Okay, stop asking why, okay? No more whys around here. Now, granted, you guys can ask questions if you want. I'm just being silly this morning. I actually have a appointment I must get to, so I'm going to move a little quickly this morning. I don't know about that quick. I hate to rush, but, but for the live people who seem to really enjoy it, I think. That's why I keep doing these, because you guys seem to like it, and we talk about stuff, and you can actually ask any questions you really want. In fact, there's a game we play if you want to play the game, but there's almost nobody in here. But if you guys want to play a game while we make a smoothie, so look, we want to get some greens in there. Most people don't consume enough vegetables. And as far as fiber, it's, oh my goodness, it's just incredibly how bad it is out there. Less than 3%, 3%, less than 3% of all Americans consume enough of the minimum amount of fiber required. Less than 3%, the minimum. I mean, almost nobody gets enough fiber. I mean, I think I probably get enough. I mean, I don't know, but I do consume a lot of veggies, and this is one of the tricks on how to do it because we just don't get enough vegetables. We just don't, especially in these type of forms, because everybody likes stuff stir fried and deep fried and pan fried, and that's actually not very good. There's really good data on that, and I've been talking about it personally for years, that it's a bad idea. You never want to cook with oils. It doesn't matter. And this is all my opinion, but it is based on data. You guys can read about it. But it doesn't matter if it's coconut oil, olive oil. It's the most healthiest oil, Hydrogen Man. It doesn't matter. Why? Why doesn't it matter? Well, it turns into a carcinogen, guys, when you heat it up. Not good if you've ever read about carcinogens. And it's just not good, So, I mean, you can do it if you want to, but if you're trying to get healthy, some people will be like, I don't want to hear that. I stir fry everything and I'm still alive. It's so funny. I always hear arguments like that. I know somebody who drank like a fish and they lived till they were 90. I know somebody who smoked 2 packs of cigarettes a day and they lived till they were 100. There's always going to be an exception to the rule. I'm talking statistically. statistically speaking, and who knows, maybe those people who were drinking and smoking were wishing they were dead. Maybe they felt like crap. Who knows? I've known people like that. But whatever the case is, this is what I do. It's not a medical advice. You guys can do whatever you want with your lives. I won't judge you. It's your life. I mean, really. That's the funny thing. It's like, why do some people care so much about what other people do? It's like, as long as it doesn't interfere with my life, why would I care? I care about people. I want people to be at their best and feel their best because I know what it feels like to be sick, and it sucks. And I know what it feels like to be in pain. Oh my goodness, that's the worst. I mean, that will mess with your head. When I say mess with your head, like, seriously, it will mess with you in a psychological way. When you're in pain long enough, it will make you somebody you don't want to be. Make you into somebody you don't want to be. You'll just be moody and angry, and you're in pain and uncomfortable, and you're like, I don't know what to do. And doctors don't help. At least that was my experience. Like, no, I don't want to live like this forever. So I had to change my life, and here we go. Soaked walnuts. Walnuts are extremely good for you. I got soaked raisins too. They're in super clean hydrogen water. You don't have to do hydrogen water, but you can do at least super clean water. But you could do hydrogen water. I'm going to soak more of them. I'm just about out today. Okay, walnuts, super anti-cancerous. They did studies on it. Pretty remarkable, the results, but it was whole. They tried to do extracts of certain parts of the walnut, and it didn't work. So it only worked when it was a whole food, and I like the whole food. I'm into the whole food, and it makes it taste good. And I believe in the whole food. That's why I do things the way that I do them. And that's why I like these smoothies. I'm not saying the juicing's no good, but I'm more of a fan of smoothies. Plus, they're way more affordable, and they're so much easier to make. As you're about to witness, you are a witness. You are officially, officially, you're officially a witness. Why? Because you're watching. Why am I watching? I don't know. All right, anyway. Somebody was telling me earlier, or not today, it was the other day, organic blueberries, extremely good for you, extremely good for the vascular system. The data on it is amazing. It's amazing how many studies have been done on food, and a lot of these foods that I'm using are also anti-parasitic, which is pretty remarkable too. I didn't even realize I was living an anti-parasitic lifestyle until I started doing research on all the stuff I was using, which just happened to be good for my health. And I'm just gonna put a splash extra today. I don't know, they're really good for you. And it was showing that if you use blueberries for the long term, it's amazing. It's kind of like hydrogen for the long term. It just seems to get better. Just like, you know what? It's like anything. The longer you are exercising, the longer you eat healthy, everything just seems to get better. You just have to be patient, and you got to get there. How do I get there? Okay, that's what we got to do. But why? Because if you don't, you're going to not get enough of what your body needs. Oh, but why? Oh yeah, that's what somebody was talking about. They were talking about kids, and kids always asking the questions, why, why, why? And eventually it leads to a place where you are yourself confused. I don't know, okay? I don't know why. Just stop asking. You're making me feel, what was that word? It's funny. Anyway, this is the magic ingredient today. Like you're making me feel like I don't know, like I'm lost. I don't know what I'm talking about. Oh, why? Because you keep asking why. Maybe you should ask yourself, why do you keep asking why? Oh, well, because I'm curious. That's what it was funny. It was so funny. They were talking about their kids, and kids do that, and I think it's funny. And kids are really neat. I think I just wish I wish as humans we had more wisdom to know how to raise them because it's such an important thing to raise children in such a way. And I don't think our society, unfortunately, knows how. I think that's why schools are absolute failures. Sorry for any teachers out there. I mean, by the way, I have an educational background, so hey, I'm with you. I could have been a teacher if I wanted to. And in some ways, actually, I did actually. I have done a lot of teaching in my life. And you know what? Now that I think about it, look at this. Now I'm teaching people how to do certain things. So potentially, because there's no claims around here, it's up to you. but could potentially help your health. I will tell you that I've seen some pretty remarkable stuff. Should have seen my dad, my father, the things that he was going through, and the difference that well, hydrogen made for him really, because he didn't want to do too many other healthy things. He did some healthy stuff though, but not nearly like I did. But he did do the hydrogen water, and the hydrogen, just clean water and hydrogen, was just kind of unbelievable. Actually, it's hard to believe. I didn't think it would work. That's the funny thing. See, I'm a skeptic. A lot of people, I guess, are not aware of that. I am a big time skeptic. I'm like ridiculous skeptic, and it's very hard to convince me of things. One of the reasons I like good data, not just any data, because there's a lot of like not so great data out there, and manipulated data. So you have to learn how to read and siphon through it really. And yeah, it was just such a game changer because I followed the data. That's actually what I did. I read some data from Japan about hydrogen, and I was like thinking, there's no way it can do this. There's just no way. And then I experimented on my father also because he was dealing with his own medical stuff. And it literally went almost like textbook, like clockwork, just like the research showed. And it was unbelievable. And it really not only changed his life, I mean, you really should have seen, I wish people could witness all my dad's friends that he, military buddies or whatever that he would hang out with, and then see the difference, see how he's doing and see how they're doing, because they thought the hydrogen thing was a bunch of hogwash. And I mean, it was just unbelievable. My father looked just so much better than they did, and he looked so much better than what he used to. I mean, it really did some wonderful things for him. I was very happy. Okay, let's see here. Oh, good morning, guys. All of a sudden the comments coming in. I hear ya. I know pain. Doctors did not help me either. See, Nicole, I get it. Terry C, Greg. Hey, Greg, sounds like what I'm going through with my illness and makes me grumpy when you're not healthy. Oh, believe me, I know. And the thing is, I was very well aware of it. And because of that, I remember one time my family, I mean, it was my mother and my father. They wanted to visit me when I was in really bad shape. I mean, I just so much pain. I couldn't walk. I was totally bedridden. And they wanted to visit, and I just straight up told them, "Don't." I'm like, "Don't visit me. There's nothing you can do." And if there was pain medicine that could help, that would be one thing. I could be like, you know what? All right, I'll take some pain meds. I'll say hi, and then that's that. But it wasn't like that. No matter what you gave me, it didn't matter. You could give me morphine, you give me opioids, you give me all the terrible things, and it didn't make a dent. It just, my pain was so just ridiculous. And I told them, please don't come. And then they didn't listen, of course, as parents don't. And I knew myself and I knew what I was going through. And I knew that I had zero patience for anybody. And I learned about, it's funny thing about patience. I learned that in order for one to be patient, like truly be patient with people, and there's a difference between being tolerant and patient. But I will say that I learned that you really need your health to be patient and to work hard and do all these things. You really need your health. You need your health for everything. That's why it became such a priority in my life. Like, as you can see, I mean, this is my priority. I literally have an appointment today. I'm probably going to be late because I really have to kind of hurry in a way. But, you know, it's a priority. I woke up so early today too, and I ended up going back to bed because I was like, this is too early. And I had some things I had to do really early in the morning, and then after that, I didn't. My schedule's kind of erratic sometimes. And and so anyway, yeah, it was absolutely horrendous. And you know what? I experimented. I wasn't sure this was all going to work, and lo and behold, it's pretty wild. I became some. I mean, it's silly. Let's call it that. Whatever. But this whole, you're the hydrogen man, dude. I'm like, whatever. But it really did. It's weird that I became this. I did not. You know what? It was probably written. I'll just say it's probably written in the stars. Now, what I was going to say, it was probably destined. I don't know if it was destiny. I don't know. But, I am a person who, I'm a very critical thinker, and I think deeply about things, and I like things that make sense. And I tend to think differently than most people, I've noticed. I definitely do. I mean, they've known that since I was a child. I've talked about it briefly before, but I definitely went through some very strange things as a child because I was just so, well, weird. You could call it weird. You call it different. but I just look at the world differently than, and not just the world, everything, just most problems. Like, if you're a problem solver, I will look at things from every which angle, and I'm not biased. I don't care. I'm not looking at through the eyes of, and I try to look at through everybody else's eyes too, and I do. It's one of the few things that I'm kind of good at, and I am able to look at things through the eyes of others, and it gives me very different perspectives, and that helps me. That's why the whole health thing, it can be very frustrating, because when you're trying to figure out, you have people telling you, oh no, you should be on a keto diet. Oh no, you should eat nothing but eggs. Oh no, you should eat nothing but meat. Oh no, you shouldn't have any meat. You should have no dairy. You should actually eat nothing but fruits. You should be a fruitarian. It's like, okay. And then they're like, oh no, no, sorry, wrong one. You should eat nothing but raw food. Everybody has a difference of opinion. Same thing with water. And it gets really frustrating, which reminds me, I got to start adding water to this, otherwise it won't blend right. And so everybody has a difference of opinion. By the way, clean water or hydrogen water, both, it would be ideal. And so it became very difficult to navigate the world of health because nobody knew what the hell they were talking about, in my opinion, because everybody's right, but also everybody's wrong. And the reason is because short-term data and long-term data is very different, and so you have to be really careful about that. Very, very careful. We're going to have to make some of these. These are hydrogen chia seeds, and I just realized that I'm pretty much out here. So I'm going to use up what I got here right now, and then we're going to have to just make them on camera, live, Saturday night. Actually, it's not Saturday. It's a Monday. And you know what? Mondays sometimes aren't very fun for people. So the way we start is you start with an empty jar. You always want to fill it up halfway with an empty jar first. Why? Just know that if you don't do it this way, you'll see why. But I can tell you that it doesn't work. It won't work. It'll turn into a clumpy mess. The chia seeds will not absorb hydrogen water, and it just won't work. Okay? But why? Because somehow it just doesn't allow these seeds to soak properly. Why? Well, because they need space. They need to be shaken in order to soak them. So this is what I'm doing. Why chia seeds? Well, because they have lots of minerals, lots of nutrients, good proteins. They have all sorts of good stuff. And why do you soak them? Well, because one of the ways that you attain health, in my opinion, this is actually just my protocol, actually. So everything's my opinion here. And look, it's gonna turn clumped up mess right away. You can see it happening already. So what you do is after you added that half water and you add the chia seeds, and you add the rest of the water, and you'll see what's about to happen here. Oh, beehive. Okay, let's keep going, Mr. Austin Powers. Haven't seen that in a long time. That was a funny show. Okay, I'm adding a little minerals actually because I'm actually doing my water right now too. There we go. Because I ran out of that water and I gotta make some more. Okay, I'm gonna show you guys exactly what to do here. So I just filled it up all the way, and you can't wait very long because if you wait too long, you can already see it doing some stuff. See, look. You can already see it separating as it turned into a clumped up mess. You've got to shake it right away. So we're going to do some other things meanwhile, while we deal with this clumped up mess. If I just let it sit there like that now, it will still clump up and turn into a mess. So we're going to do the natto. Here's the magic mustard, and I'm going to take this with me and shake it, because otherwise it turns into repeat it after me, a clumped up mess. And we don't want a clumped up mess. We now want natto. And then you have to activate natto by stirring it 100 times or more. Why? Why? Because that's how you activate it. It's the way to get the most out of it. It's kind of like soaking these chia seeds in water. It makes them more. It's more active. It's better for you. Let's put it that way. It's better when food carries water to the colon instead of robs it of. If it will rob it of water when it's dried. So when you eat dried food, like for example, if you guys want to do a fun experiment, if you ever want to be constipated, if you want to be, hey, if you'd like to be constipated, go on a beef jerky diet. All beef jerky, just dried meat. See what happens. Just see what happens. Oh boy, I just got stuck to my hand. This thing is so sticky. This is not fun. I just washed my hands because I touched it. Now I gotta wash them again. Natto is sticky. It is naturally fermented. Well, they add the bacteria actually, but it is fermented food, and it's a bean that's a fermented food. And fermented beans are very unusual. It is not normal, and the magical powers. And I say magical powers, like you're like, what? There's no magical powers. Really? I'll tell you in a second. Okay, let's see here. What else are you saying here? Terry C. All we need to do is get all. Uh, we all need to get on the blueberries. Well, yeah, I mean, they're pretty awesome. They're good for you. Okay, Nicole says, I learned more from watching videos like yours. Thank you for putting it out there. You are appreciated. Well, that's very sweet of you. And there's only, how many people in here? There's only like 9 people. Nobody's learning anything, right? Just the 9 of you. You're a teacher of wisdom, Greg. Oh, you're much too kind, Terry. I'm probably just a fool that makes smoothies, and that's okay. But I'll try to be a healthy fool. If I could change anything in my life, I would want to go back and teach my kids how to eat healthy. You and me both. I envision a lot of things, and I sometimes envision, I wish I could go back in time as like a little kid. And I thought I'd surprise the hell out of my mom. Like, little kids when they're like 5 or something, like, Mommy, I want this toy. I'd love to go back, and she'd be like, what do you want for your birthday, son? And I'd say, Mommy, I want a blender. And she's like, a blender? Yeah, I'm going to start making smoothies. And she starts making smoothies every day. And she'd be like, what is going on with this kid? Yeah, I thought that'd be funny. Or I'd be like, Mom, can I get a hydrogen machine? But of course, if I went back in time, they didn't exist back then. Nobody knew back then about hydrogen. So that would be sad. And I couldn't make my own because the technology it takes, even though people make some really crappy ones out there, in my opinion, that I could make, but I still wouldn't do it. It'd be better just not to even consume those. They're terrible. Okay. Terry says, being skeptical is healthy. Oh, I am a skeptical guy. There's too much crap out there. That's the problem. Yes, I don't like visits. It wears me out. You don't like visits. Yeah, people visiting. It's tough. Terry C says, and unless you have been through it, it's hard to understand. Yep, dried meat diet. LOL. No thanks. Yeah, it is hard to understand until you've been in such extreme pain. People who knew me, somebody went through something that lasted. I think it was actually my mom. She went through something, and then I remember her contacting me later, and she said, "You know what? I understand what you're going through now." I was like, "Why?" She goes, "Oh, I've been having some pain." And hers didn't last that long. Nothing like what I went through, but she's like, I kind of get it now. And I'm like, I'm sure you kind of understand a little more, but yeah, you can't possibly understand. I'm telling you guys, I know a lot of people have suffered in life. I totally get that. I was going through level 10 pain, like the worst you can just, the kind of pain that makes you want to just end your life. I mean, it was that bad. And it was 24/7, literally all day. Have you ever had like a super bad tooth pain? Like the nerve? Imagine that kind of pain in more areas than one in your body, and it just wouldn't go away. It'd be 24/7, not for days, not for weeks, months and months and months, and even years. And it was absolutely horrendous. And I was like, somebody please just like knock me out. Oh, that was a not the label thing. Not to be negative. It was horrific. It was like a nightmare. It was like my own little personal little hell. And I was like, okay, I can't take it no more. Please, God, just make it stop. But you know what? It's funny. I don't think I even did that. I didn't even pray. I didn't say, God, stop this. Wow, these bananas are terrible. Oh, no, this is gonna ruin the smoothie. I just know it. Because when they're green like this, they don't taste very good. Why? Because they're not ripe yet. That's why. They're so green, and part of their sweetness comes from when they get ripe. Oh no, I can tell. No, I'm so sad. Wait, what do I do? I'm still gonna use them. But my goodness, what are we gonna do today? Is this what we're gonna do? We're just gonna do a green banana day? All right. I don't think I have many options here, people. I could drive to the store, but actually I don't have enough time. I got an appointment. So this is not gonna work. My goodness, this is terrible. So anyway, you begin to realize how important your health is when you've suffered like that. And then some people ask me like, I don't know how you get the motivation. I'm like, oh really? you went to that level of pain, I don't know. You might not be motivated. I know people who are literally straight up, no joke, like dying, rotting right in front of themselves. They're rotting, and they still won't change. So, and and it's painful. But it's funny. As painful as it is, it's still not as painful as probably what I was going through. What I was going through was nerve related, and oh, nerves. They're scary. I'm scared to death of it. I mean, I'm not kidding. Like people say, "Oh, don't have any fear." Oh, I hate to say it, I am very afraid. I do not want to go through anything like that ever, ever, ever again. And you know what? It'll probably happen someday. Someday that just you get old, and those are the things that happen. Well, this is gonna suck, isn't it? I can tell already that my my bananas. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do something. I mean, it's not a big deal. It's not like I shouldn't do it. Like, no, don't do it, hydrogen man. Don't add sugar. Please don't add sugar. I'm kidding. Of course, I'm not going to add sugar. It's supposed to be healthy. But what I will add is some sun-dried, all-organic raisins. And normally, I like to soak them. In fact, I'm going to make some right now. I'm just going to add a little bit today for the sweetness because those bananas are going to ruin it for me. I just know it. Oh, goodness. Are you kidding me? Somebody's at the door right now? Well, that's pretty unbelievable. My apologies, guys. Okay. I guess I'll let somebody else get that. Okay, give me 1 second. Okay, my apologies, everybody. Gotta figure out what to do here. Oh, you guys remembered, huh? Get my pizza delivery. Whew, sorry, guys. No, it was not the weirdo from yesterday. Actually, I really need to do a little walk on the property because the property is kind of big, and that guy looked like, I just think he looked like a squatter, is what it looked like. He looked like a homeless person, but it wasn't just homeless. He was definitely looking to squat, and last thing I want to do is be walking the property and step on some human feces because, ew, scary. What is that? Ugh, I shouldn't even touch it. Don't know what that was on my shoulder. Yuck. All right, can you guys hear me? I don't know if you could hear me earlier. I thought I Tried to mute it to not disturb you guys. All right, let's go with the celery. I gotta go shopping today. We lost everybody there, I'm sure. Nicole, his stalker man. Hope it's not that creepy guy. It's your pizza. Add some raw honey. I'd like any fruit that isn't ripe. It doesn't taste the best. I know. Sounds like terrible, Greg. The pain you was on was so glad you're well now. Oh yeah. Yeah. It was yeah. It's scary is what it is. And that's, but you know what? Well, I'm not grateful for it, and I probably should be, but I'm not. But what I am grateful for is that somehow I made it through. Um, but what I am grateful for is, what I'm doing these days for myself. Yeah, I mean, I'm happy about it. I mean, I'm not doing perfectly. I'm not living like a perfect life right now. I used to be. When I was really trying to heal, I was like, whew, I went extreme. Was it good for me? Yeah, it's probably good for me. But at some point, you're like, okay, gotta live a little bit. So I'm pretty good at being, or at least I try to be, have a nice balance. For the most part, I do mostly healthy. But and at some point too, I mean, there is some damage that you can cause that, you know, can it be totally fixed? Depends really, actually. But does a healthy diet definitely change and improve things? Yeah. Clean water, hydrogen, and a clean diet and overcoming deficiencies. Pretty huge. Gotta say, pretty huge. So I'm grateful that I learned what I learned. I don't know how, sometimes, to be quite honest with you guys. I don't know how. Sometimes I feel like I'm watching this show. It's really a weird show, actually. It's kind of funny. It's a Korean show. The Korean shows are really quite amusing. I gotta say, some of them are really quite good. And I just got done watching one about an autistic lawyer, which is pretty funny, actually. But now I'm watching one about this doctor who he's like one of the best doctors and really kind of interesting show. And then there's another guy who is he's like an intern or something. He's going to be a doctor, and the doctor ends up dying. And no, he doesn't die. He goes into a coma or something. And his ghost form is he's still in the show because he's like a ghost waiting for his body to wake up from this coma. And the guy who's new, the intern, he's able to somehow he can see the ghost or whatever. It's called Ghost Doctor show. And he was able to enter him somehow and do things like surgery, things that he shouldn't be able to do because the doctor who's like really good, quote unquote, possesses him or something, I guess. And they're helping people. They want to help people. And I kind of feel like it's kind of weird to say this, but he's able to do things that he shouldn't be able to do. That's part of the show. You're like, gosh, how does he do this? He shouldn't be able to do this. And sometimes I feel that way. I don't know how I've come up with some of the stuff I've come up with. I really don't even know. I'm like, how did I come up with this? Especially when it works much better than I expected. And now things are just getting, I don't know, a little easier. I am fascinated by, that's what's so weird. Am I interested in health? I am. You know what okay, this is what I'm interested in. I'm interested in learning about things that are applicable. Like, I don't want to learn about some technology that I don't have access to. Like, oh, there's a secret technology. And one day you're going to have access to it. It's going to be a special little pill and it'll fix everything. And it's like, oh, great. Like, you didn't explain anything, right? But if I can read something like, hey, guess what? Boron's really good for your bones, ligaments. There's lots of research. I can read some research. I'm like, wow, this particular mineral is quite remarkable. And then there's a company that sells ionic boron. It's kind of the second best way to do it because obviously the first one's always food, guys. As far as the research, the body knows food, it responds to food, blah, blah, blah. So I find ways to apply it. And this smoothie is one of those things because there's so many fads about juicing, or there was. And I kind of went against the grain because not that many people are doing smoothies, but I'm like, there's the data on fiber. The Japanese especially too, they've done some very interesting research on fiber. And I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna do that. And the more I read, the more I was like, wow, maybe this is better. I think it depends, actually. But, this whole thing just got real crazy, as you might say. But, so I like to learn about things that I can apply to my life, to make my life better, to improve my health. And it's amazing how foods, there's so much interesting research on food, from carrots to blueberries to broccoli sprouts, natto. Oh my gosh, natto. Holy smokes, the amount of data on natto. It is unbelievable. And so there's just so much data. And I'm like, you know what? I'll apply that. And most of the good stuff seems to be, ironically, you never see like, oh, there's some really good research on Twinkies. Twinkies are just amazing for you. Nope. You won't find anything like that. Most of the stuff is either a plant, like basically a fruit or a vegetable, or a nut or a seed, because I saw a lot of great data on walnuts. And there's good data on almonds too and stuff, and even other nuts, but walnut seems to be the king in regards to data. I've heard other people say almonds are the king, but as far as data, I saw that walnuts seem to be the king. The king of the nuts. Why? Because they seem to be the best for your health. Why? Because nature made it that way. Why? Well, there's something greater than you and I that not everybody can know. The only thing that you know is that it's good for you, and that's all you know. You didn't create it, so you're just going to have to just use whatever options are put in front of you. Why? Because life is full of choices and free will. Oh, whoops. I thought we had free will and free speech, but I'm sorry. I take that back. Our government doesn't want us to have free speech. Why? Well, because they want control over you, so that way you're never really free and you can be a slave forever. Why? I don't know. Some people just like others to be miserable and unhappy for some reason. Anyway, sorry, I'm just kidding, guys. I'm just being silly at this point. It is morning time, and I did wake up extremely early, and then I went back to bed after being up for a while, and then it's one of those weird mornings. I guess at the same time, somebody was like, they thought, hey, you talk to yourself when you're making smoothies. It's like, well, yeah, I'm in a room all by myself right now. But then again, you guys are here with me. Check it out, guys. I don't even know who you are. You don't even know who I am, but here we are. Just because if we disagree about things or don't agree about everything, that's okay, right? I'm not going to hate you. Some people are like, hey, I'm on the carnivore diet. It's like, okay. I mean, I don't agree with it, but I don't care. It's not like I'm going to hate you because of what you eat. That's ridiculous. Some people are like, well, I believe that Biden's the best president ever. Oops. Oh, are you silly? Are you kidding me? Look at that. It made me drop my banana. That was such a ridiculous comment. The world is telling me something. They're like, that was stupid. Don't go there, dude. Do not talk politics. Okay? When you do that, everything goes crazy. And the banana will slip out of your slippery hands. Oh, those poor bananas. I hate this thing. I'm so disappointed. It's not that I don't like you bananas, but you're just not ready yet. You're a little young. We're going to have to go get some good ones today because I don't think I can take 2 days of bad smoothie. Let's fill this up with some more hydrogen water, shall we? Shall we? All of a sudden I became a woman from the South. Shall we get some of those smoothies? Oh, wait, no, is that from the UK? I don't know. I don't know what that kind of accent was, but I think I'm American. America. Yeah, who says America first? It's not like it's not like what's the word I'm looking for? It's not like America first is a bad thing. You always, just like your health, you should always, this is weird, but you should always take care of yourself first. And that's what I've learned. And that sounds really weird and it sounds egotistical and arrogant. But I've learned that because if you're not in a good place, you're not good to anybody. You're gonna end up being a leech, or not a leech. That's not the right word. You're gonna be a detriment. That's not really quite the word I'm looking for. You're gonna be a burden. That's the word I'm looking for. You're gonna be a burden to others when you're sick. That's what I was. And you know what? I'm telling you, I hated it. I hated being a burden to somebody. It really did drive me nuts. I did not like that. And I wanted to, if anything, I like to be the opposite. I like to be helpful to those who I can be helpful to. And kind and patient and all these things, which I just couldn't be. I couldn't walk, guys. I mean, and I was in pain. So it sucks, right? It made me feel like I wasn't good enough is what it felt like. And I felt like maybe I'd done something wrong. I'm like, am I being punished, God? But I wasn't really thinking that either, actually. I felt like it was just the result of the decisions that I had made. That's really because I made some very bad decisions. Whoops, I'm adding a magic ingredient. I'm not even showing you guys. What am I doing here? I was adding the minerals. I just added them. Minerals, why? Well, you guys know the drill. I think you add minerals because a food is deficient in minerals and it works synergistically with the fiber from fruits and vegetables. Okay, I'm going to blend this up, which means it's going to get noisy, and then I'm going to shake up the next magical ingredients we're going to put in, and we're just going to have to live with this green banana smoothie today. Oh, that's okay. We'll get through it. I'm going to make the compost. Outside, I finally emptied my bucket. Bucket list. Dump my bucket for compost. That's what I did. That's what I do. We're going to get everybody healthy. This is funny. The world's going to sell out of produce. I mean, no, not the world. I mean the store. The world. The world's going to sell out. Shake these guys up. And we're going to get some hydrogen water in the jar. So let's get some jars down here. Okay, I'm going to add a little splash of hydrogen water. Then we're going to add the rest of the magic ingredients here. Let's go. I think I saw somebody asking, has anybody actually ever made this smoothie, or is this guy just like making smoothies by himself every day and people just watch thinking, one of these days? But this is something I do every day. I don't know. Like, dude, you're crazy. You're crazy. Nobody makes smoothies every day. That's insane. You're crazy. Really? I don't think it's that crazy to make a smoothie. Is it that big of a deal to make a smoothie in the morning for breakfast? No, it's not that big of a deal, Greg. The thing is, if you make, there's like easy smoothies. Yours is not easy, dude. This one's got all sorts of stuff. This ain't normal. All right, let's just see if that's actually blended up. Let's hope it tastes good today. I'm a little nervous. I mean, I can drink it. It's not like it's gonna be the worst thing in the world. Okay, we're gonna go halfway, as you guys know the drill. It's just that I like when my smoothie tastes good. I'm gonna be a whiny little girl now. I want tasty smoothie and my banana right. You know what? Be grateful that you have electricity to make this blender do its thing. Oh boy, I can taste it already. Okay, we're gonna start with ionic zinc. This is not a necessity because it's in the purine powder in a food form, which is better. But I just happen to have some left over and I didn't want to waste it. And I tried 4 pumps, which they recommend even more than that. And believe me, that was too much. I've been getting enough zinc in my diet and I could tell I was just way too much. So I just put 1 pump. 1 pump is all we do. Now, this is to me one of the most important ones right here. I will take this one for life. What? Why, Greg? Why? Because vitamin D3 is absolutely crucial for your health. And it's just, you don't get it in food. You just really don't. There's almost no foods that have it. And the foods that do have it are not also, the best things for you these days. So because of the pollutants, and believe me, I've seen the blood work to prove it. But we're just going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4 drops is equivalent to 5,000 IUs. I just threw an extra one just for the heck of it. This is one of my more favorite ones that I've been playing around with lately. H-girl, that's funny. Boron, because I don't want to be a moron. Hey, dude, you're a moron. No, dude, it's called boron. Why? B with a B. B with a B? All right, whatever that means. Let's go 1 milliliter and a half. Why? It's good for bones, ligaments, brain health, and what they call sex hormones, both for men and women, by the way. And the research on this is remarkable. I did a whole video on it, unbelievable. And it's ionic. I did also put raisins, which have natural boron. You don't find it in too many foods either, but you do. Chlorophyll. Now, this one I don't normally do either. There's a couple of these I don't normally do, but I just happen to have them. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And there is data that chlorophyll is quite good for you. And I mean, obviously, this is so dark green. This thing will stain. I'm telling you something. Be careful with this guy. It's like beets. I'm not sure what's worse, beets or that. But here, now you'll see why I went halfway. I went halfway because now I mixed the rest. I better hurry because today is one of those days where I'm actually going to be late. I'm late. I'm like that little rabbit from Alice in Wonderland. Okay, just know that today's smoothie is not going to be that delicious, okay? Just accept the facts because the bananas were green and they just didn't taste so good. And would you like hemp hearts is my next magic ingredient. And why hemp hearts? Well, guys, how many times must I have to say it? I'm going to say it every time till you guys get it. Most well-balanced omegas in the world. Check that out. Most dense protein, I believe, in the world in general, but it's also full of all these nutrients and minerals, vitamins, and all the essential amino acids that the body needs. I don't know why all of a sudden I became a woman from the South when I started talking about hemp hearts, because I don't believe they come from the South. I believe most of the hemp is grown in America. Nah, it's probably Canada. It's probably Canada and Mexico. Yeah, maybe Mexico should get into the business of hemp hearts. Next thing you know, cartels will be selling hemp hearts. That'll be hilarious. I mean, they are quite expensive. So that's what I like to use. Organic if possible, because, you know, I don't like chemicals in my food. The whole point of this is to try to get healthy. And I will probably say goodbye very soon, but at least we got to taste it and have our last magic ingredient. Okay. That ain't so bad. Could have been worse. I'm going to answer a few of your questions and then I'll let you go today because I got to go today. Today is not a day that I have a ton of free time. Boy, I don't have much free time at all. Better hurry up. But I'm going to plug in this phone because otherwise I don't think I have enough. I almost said I don't think I have enough nutrients. No. See, I wish we were just like a phone. We could just plug ourselves in, charge us up, and that'd be the end of that. It'd be easy, right? Don't have to eat all this food and nutrients. Why can't we just be like robots? Because then you wouldn't have any emotions. Yeah, okay. All right. That's my Matthew McConaughey impression. All right. Okay, last ingredient, hydrogen. And then I'll read your comments here real quick, and then I'm going to let you guys go today because I'm late. Okay, let's see here. Wow, lots of comments. Let's see. Maybe your guides were helping you. Oh, that's an interesting comment. That's weird. Yeah, now that you mention it, like, didn't even think about that. Who made that comment? Terry. They helped you figure out how to make smoothies, Hydrogen Man. Alicia says, do you still do some rebounding in the mornings for lymphatic drainage? Yeah, I got a little, quote unquote, little, oh, you know what, let me take my earpiece out. Yeah, I do, I can show you guys my little exercise routine I invented also someday, if you guys want to know. But yeah, those are awesome. Terry C says, yes, let food be thy medicine. Terry C says, cool, I have a walnut tree. Woohoo, there you go. Excuse my spelling. Okay, that'll be Terry C's voice. We're here for the smoothie action in the chat. Smoothie action. Nicole, yes, I enjoy hanging out in the kitchen with all of you. That's funny. You guys were liking this. Terry says, I hate asking for help when I'm sick. Oh, no, I get it. Has anybody here made Greg's smoothie yet? Nicole says, yes, I do. Oh, is it nice, Nicole? And I've got a friend started slowly, one person at a time. Wow. I make smoothies, milk, ice cream, banana, and peanut butter. Sometimes I'm confused about Dramer here. But do your thing, buddy. I enjoy the smoothie. It tastes good with the fruit. Yeah, it makes it taste good. Also Nutella in my smoothie. Your blender must be a mess. Explains everything, Dramer. That's true. That's true. Alicia says, not yet, Terry. But I've been here so many times, I think I already memorized the process. See? Alicia Gonzalez, you've not made the smoothie once and you're here constantly. That's hilarious. You know what? I need to bring out my hydrogen machine to show you guys how I drink it in the mornings too. You guys can see the whole process. I really should do that actually. Terry says, H girl, LOL. But it's an organic banana. And Terry C says, me too, Alicia. LOL. When I do make it, I will have Greg's voice in my head talking all about it. And Dramer says, do you mind me asking, what is your job? I'm a YouTuber, Dramer. Can't you tell? Terry C says, his job is being H-man. LOL, I'm not American, I'm British. Oh, well then I can do the British accent. Oh wait, that's not a British accent. What is that? That's my, I don't know what that is. Something. Okay, well, I think I'm gonna let you guys go. I don't see no more questions. I only have a little bit of time. Let's see here. Alrighty guys, I guess today's a short day. I gotta roll. Thanks for watching, thanks for supporting the channel. I wish you all good health. And I guess since I don't show the full protocol, I'm gonna have to show you guys the full thing some point. Maybe I'll just have to bring my hydrogen machine up here. And yeah, thank you for the thumbs up. And yeah, but basically it's not that hard. I just brush my teeth and drink 1 liter of hydrogen water in the morning. Can we see your stone bracelet sometime? Yeah, I have more to the story. And so I can show you, but yeah, I can show you guys that stuff. So thanks, have a nice week, everyone, says Alicia. All right, guys, you know, I just wish they made better material for their necklaces and bracelets because they break after years and years, of course. But I would think that there's something better. Anyway, we'll talk about it next time.